All right, man, let's get into it. Let's do this Lions Live. I'll be right back. All right, man, let's get this Lions Live out the way. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Trey Finesse early in the building. Appreciate you for supporting. Make sure you thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Share. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Lions training camp, upcoming season, a lot of expectations. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. All right, so obviously they being featured a little bit on ESPN this morning. As well too. So but yeah, I mean, it's like talk about DeAndre Swift, the low management early in camp. You had Jared Goff saying that he think things turned around because the Lions got guys that want to be here. I mean, you got DJ Shark, you got Jameson Williams on the sideline, you got Hutchinson, who could be coming up to a contract year pretty quickly. You got Quintez Cephas making a whole bunch of plays out here as well too. So I mean, and a lot of people think this team is going to win above 6 games. That's the over and under for this team. So like I said before, I don't really never had no expectations for the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying, for a long time because every time I have expectations, I'm wrong. No matter how high, how low the expectations are, so I stopped having expectations. But I don't really expect this big jump this year. I'm not holding it against the Lions this year. All right. Yeah, I'm not holding it against the Lions this year. I'm not expecting a huge jump. I just don't think the rebuild can get off to a start until they find a quarterback. That's just that's what I'm gonna continue to say that. Now he got some weapons this year. They got some weapons this year, and we're gonna see kind of what those weapons, are gonna hit for, and what's gonna be different, and what's not gonna be different with the Lions. But I'm gonna take a waiting approach to see. I'm not gonna, buy into the Kool-Aid. But like I said before, I'm most excited to finally see, hopefully 100% Levi Anazorki, because I think he's a difference maker along with Aiden Hutchinson on that defensive line. That's what I truly think. I think they're the difference makers. And I think one thing they didn't have, they got pressure on the quarterback last year, but they didn't get the right pressure. They need pressure from the situation of up the middle. And Michael Brockers and Aleem McNeil and John Panensi, they couldn't accommodate that. And I think along with the pickup of Aiden Hutchinson, I think when Anazorki really entering this season 100% healthy, I think that's kind of going to be the biggest difference defensively, because you probably finally going to get that penetration from the middle of the defense. That's going to be the difference. McNeil, he's going to be a space eater. Brocker's going to be a run stopper. But Anazorki, Josh Pascal, and A. Hutchinson kicking in on the inside is going to be they pressures. That's where they're going to get their pressures from. On the inside. On the outside, Charles Harris, Romeo Okora, Julian Okora, Peyton Hutchinson, Josh Pascal. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see, defensively, the defensive line. I think it's going to be the backbone of the Lions. I think it's going to be the backbone of the Lions defense this year. I mean, team. I like the offensive line. Both. They spent a lot of draft capital on both sides of the line. So I think with Anazorki pushing the pocket from the middle, I think Hutchinson and Harris collapsing and Romeo collapsing from the outside. That's going to be the strength of this football team. You would like to say that the secondary as well too, but I think you got some things that's working against them on the secondary. I think you're talking about the safety position up for grabs. Don't know much about Deshaun Elliott. Tracy Walker, he got paid. We don't see what Kirby Joseph give us. So I think it's a bit of a mystery to see what you're gonna get on in the back. I think from the cornerback position, they'll be fine. But who's gonna step up and be that safety, that real cover safety for the Lions? Who gonna step up and play the back end and single high and make plays and get picks on the back end on that defense is the question. But defensive line, only question they got is, do they have another plugger to go with Aleem McNeil? And that's it. I don't really think John Panisi was the plugger. I think John Panisi was more of a penetrator, on a different level. That's what I think he is. He was just somebody that penetrated. He got pressure. He really wasn't, he was okay in the run game, but he was somebody that was really twitchy kind of big fella, get up, push the pocket. But, with them getting Levi and Zorky back, you get that, with tremendous strength, tremendous twitch, elite athlete. So he'll be I think I'm going to go ahead and say that he'll be the biggest difference maker for the Lions this year in Levi and Zorky, bar none. He'll be the biggest difference maker because he's going to make the back end better. He's going to make Hutchinson better. He's going to make Harris better. He's going to make Brockers better. He's going to be the difference, honestly. If he plays well, then, that defense is going to play it well. If you don't play well, then the defense won't play well because you got to understand, then you're banking on Josh Pascal to come in and create pressure in the middle of the defense as well, too. And guess what? He ain't healthy right now. Now, do you really want to put Aiden Hutchinson back on the inside at Michigan? Yeah, he played on the inside some, previous to his senior year, but he's, you don't want to put too much on a rookie play. You don't want to put too much on a rookie play, so you don't want to have him playing inside, outside, and beating him up. So really, it's Anazorki or bust on that inside, bro. I think, and hopefully they go to a more even front because that's what he best at. He's best at an even front. Romeo Core is best in the even front. Aiden Hutchinson best in the even front. And then when you talk about playing at 34, you talking about you need two coverage linebackers on the inside. That's how I look at it. And you bookend in the outside with ends. And right now, they just don't have the linebackers to play 34. And that's my opinion. They said they like their linebackers. Said, nobody believes that. Especially when Jerry Davis is probably in contention to start starting again. We've seen enough of him through a previous regime. So, nobody really likes their linebackers other than them. And then we might see Brad Holmes start scrambling and panicking and trying to, trade draft capital for a new quarterback, for a new linebackers. Michael, what's going on? He said, man, I don't get a notification. You were live. I saw it on Twitter. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe hit the bell icon button and re-hit it. Shout out to Kobe. So, like I said before, defensively, it's all pretty much falling on Levi and Zorky this year, trying to find some defensive stuff. Well, they ain't hitting right now, so that really don't even matter, do it. But it's all going to fall on him. And then you say, well, who the second most important player on that defense, man? Ooh, it's probably going to be this guy right here. It's probably going to be Aiden Hutchinson, bar none. Aiden, I just think you all go back in. Hold on, I don't even know what the hell that is, but I think you all go back in. You all go back in. I mean, I mean, y'all go front line. I'm not really worried about the back end. I think, I think you might see a impact from that defensive line when you start looking for nicknames. Remember the Silver Rush and all that shit they have for Dominic Sue, Nick Fairley, Kyle Vanden Bosch, Cliff Averill, eventually Ziggy Ansah. I think you start seeing. I think you start seeing nicknames start coming up. I mean, for Aiden Hutchinson, man, I'll get in the offense a little bit later. For Aiden Hutchinson, bro, it's set up for him to succeed as they're healthy right now. A couple reasons why. He get to go up against one of the best offensive lines in football. So right then and there, come on. Working against Sewell, working against Taylor Decker, working against Jonah Jackson on the inside, working against Frank Ragnar on the inside, working in High Tie on the inside. He gonna get to go up against the best offensive line. Then on top of that, he get the it's really he really don't have to exhaust himself out neither. You eventually gonna get Josh Pascal back. Austin Bryant makes plays when he's healthy. Eventually, Charles Harris, he make plays. So, you're going to get Anna Zorky back. That's something that Charles Harris didn't benefit from last year. He didn't benefit from a push on the inside. So, yeah, for the most part, you can make a case this might be the deepest and best position group on the team. He's set up to succeed, to be honest. He's set up to succeed. Can I say he's set up more than Kayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau? I don't know. But I say this, the Giants have a really good defense. That's one thing Joe Judge did. They defense was really good. Offensively, what it boiled down to, Danny Dimes, a.k.a. Daniel Jones, just couldn't make no plays. That's what it was. He just couldn't make no plays with his arm. So Thibodeau was I don't know the names, but I remember them playing last year. He in a good position too. He in a real good position. The Giants defense is if they got some movement offensively, man, they could be lights out. That's one thing Joe Judge did do a good job at. But when you look at this kid, he in a prime position to win Rookie of the Year, honestly. Really you look at it, you like, man, what is he not getting? One thing we know about the Detroit Lions, they always produce really, really good defensive linemen. It was guys like George Johnson from years ago. He had his one good year here, got paid, never heard of him again. Sammy Hill, Andre Fluellen, Sean Rogers, Corey Peters. You can go on and on and on. Ziggy Ansah, Cliff Averill, Willie Young. They've always had good front four. That ain't really Nick Fairley when, he had that one, his shining moment was that one game in Dominican Sue was suspended versus New Orleans. He dominated. They've always produced good defensive linemen. That's why I didn't really think it was a premium on them really getting Aiden Hutchinson because, that's one thing the Lions have done. They've been able to took, defensive linemen all over the draft and plug them, and they come here and they produce. And that's one thing that has happened. Defensive linemen come here and play above they play above their pay grade. But he in a great spot. You get good work against. Even the backup was good. Matt Nelson and the kid we drafted from Kentucky a couple years ago. I forget his name. He got injured last year. He'd be in contention for a guard spot. So don't be surprised if High Tide get beat out. It'd be because that kid from Kentucky beat him out. To be honest, he got injured last year. That's one of the reasons that he didn't compete for the position. So he's gonna get good work with the ones, the twos, the threes, the fours. The practice squad players. They really deep at offensive linemen. So it's really the only way he can fail. Honestly, the only way he really can fail, honestly, is just injury. He's in a great spot here. It's not going to be no pressure for him to perform early on because they like him. So he's in a really Logan Stenberger. So he's in a great spot, unbelievable spot. He said, I have a bill set on all unification. They don't send them. Sometimes you got to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit the bell button. They say when the veterans start to get cut in training camp, the Lions should be on those guys defensively. You talk about plugging guys in the middle of the defense and linebackers. That's exactly what they'd be looking to do. Interior lineman, another big body in there. With Josh Pascal, he might be out whole training camp. You need somebody else that's going to create penetration. In the ideal world, you would love to go out there and get in Dominican Sue, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I think Sue is gonna land on the team. I think Sue got cut because of that play he made in the NFC Championship game. I mean the NFC playoff game versus Stafford. And that's why they got him. Got rid of him. And they probably felt like they cost him the game, but it is what it is. But it's help out there. I mean, it's a lot of guys out here, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But Hutchinson in a good spot, great spot. Him and Harris, him and Romeo, I think Julian playing pretty well. They're in a great spot. And defensive line gonna have to carry. And one thing why it's so important for them is because the linebacker's not that good, but they got to keep the linebackers clean. They got to keep that linebackers clean. So, like I said before, Anazorki penetration is going to be everything on this team. Then also, I think Hudson is a disciplined player. Charles Harrison played his gap well last year. McNeil cut some weight down. He's going to be very important in stopping the run. They stopped the run for the most part last year, but early on they struggled with it, and then later on when the injuries really came. But for the most part, Aaron Glenn did a great job of fixing patching up the run last year for what he had. So I don't really think it's going to be no different. I think Romeo putting his hand in the dirt, we're going to be a cap casualty. So I think what you're looking at is Hutchinson, Romeo, Charles Harris, Austin Bryan. They're going to compete. And I don't really think we can put a role on starting or not starting. I don't think it really matters. I think it might be a case where we see all four of them out there. Hutchinson on the inside, Pascal on the inside, Romeo on the outside, Charles Harris on the outside. You might see, in known passing downs, you might see that. You definitely going to see that. And in some situations, you might see a McNeil on the inside, Brockers on the inside, and run stopping situations, and a Zorki on the end, and you can probably gonna have somebody else over on the other end, the other guy they brought from Pittsburgh, whoever they bring in. So you're gonna see a lot of situations where different lineups. So it ain't really gonna be about who start. You might have Hudson get 30 snaps, and Romeo get 30 snaps, and Harris get 35 snaps, and Pascal get 34 or 5 snaps. You might see that. So in other games, Hutchinson might stay out there. So they really back to, when they had numbers and waves on the defensive line. So one thing I think is probably just adding one more guy that can plug up the middle. I think that's pretty much it. Just adding one more guy who can plug that middle up, and that's it. That's it. Oh, my bad. I hit the back button on my mouse. I had a gaming mouse. My bad. I hit the back button on the mouse. So that's my fault. But looking at real quick what they got at the defensive tackle position. Hold on. I didn't hit that damn back button. That's my fault. Looking what they got at the defensive tackle position. Here we go right here. Here we go. Sorry, y'all. So you got Brandon Williams from Baltimore, Linville Joseph, he's still playing. Obviously, Sue. I think Starlelo Tute would be a good pickup. I mean, Malik Jackson, he only 32. Sheldon Richardson, Gerald McCoy. I think he more. I mean, he it is what it is. So, like I said, out of the guys available, I mean, I like Brandon Williams. I mean, give you another nose tackle in there. He give you another nose tackle. Remember, he was drafted. I think he went to Missouri Southern State. I know he went to a small school. Probably a lot of snaps on that body though. But you're not asking him to come in and start. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of his games kind of went down. But he in double digits every year, 35 tackles, 15 solo. He right around that mark every year. So, getting up there, but you just looking for somebody that can come in, stop the run. He got some, good playoff pedigree there. Star Lealute, I think he had the heart condition coming out, but another good run stopper. Not sure what happened up in Buffalo, but he was drafted by Carolina Panthers. But for the most part, he's been an Iron Man. He didn't play in 2020 in the pandemic year. Came back in 2021. Had 3 sacks. We're not looking at the 17 tackles, 11 assisted. So he's not a big tackle guy. Like I said, he's just somebody that's gonna plug up. He's just gonna plug it up defensively. That's what he's just looking for. Now, if you can do anything else, it's a plus. But he one of them dudes who just gonna plug it up. Malik Jackson, part of that Saxonville defense many years ago. But when I remember him, he might be more of a balance, but I think he one of them dudes that like to get upfield and get sacked. He got some sacks in Jacksonville, 6.5, 8. But lately he ain't been doing that. Played 57% of the snaps, only 25 tackles, 28. So he kind of give you more of a balance guy that can kind of be out there for three downs. I mean, Gerald McCoy, he would beat up. So, but yeah, I think what you're looking at out of the guys I know on this list, I think I'm not bringing back Sue. So I mean, I think it's between Williams and Williams and Starlet Lute, and I probably lean towards Williams in that situation, plugging in Williams in there, and him backing up Lee McNeil. I mean, he been in the league 10 years. Jeez, I remember he came into the league, bro. So yeah, I'm probably more about plugging him in there, bro, and bringing him around. So yeah, I'm about that. So, but yeah, looking elsewhere. I mean, you talking about the Lions, linebackers and stuff of that nature, and and I think like everybody else on paper, they unattractive. I think they're not attractive on paper. Oh, what's up, Micro Mike? Salute. He said, "Hey, I'll be talking training camp if you show up. I'll be at the training if you show up. Let me know we can meet up." Oh yeah, what day you going on there today? Yeah, let me know. I try to get tickets to the open thing, bro. It wasn't like to where they having their fourth field. I'm gonna try again. It wouldn't plug. It wouldn't go through. But I actually, let me know what day you go. I'm gonna be that way this way today, but I can. Wonder if you bring your dog. I gotta babysit Pato today, but dog sit Pato. But yeah, looking at the linebackers, bro. A lot of people like this guy right here. We can start off with this guy, Derek Barnes. It's just so hard. It's gonna be hard for him, man. He said I'll be in Detroit all week, Sunday through Friday, open practice. All right, bet. We can figure something out. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow, Tuesday. But yeah, I'll let you know. It's in Allen Park, right? Let me know. I gotta have some ticket or something. I was trying to be at Ford Field for the open thing, but a lot of people like this guy. I just don't know. When you go from being an edge rusher to inside linebacker, and he weight wise he's solid, but height wise he's a little bit undersized. And you look, and that's kind of a thing amongst their linebackers. 6 foot, 6'1", 6 foot, 6'1". He's more of an edge, excuse me. But Pittman is one of their bigger linebackers. Pittman is one of their bigger linebackers for Wayne State. So Michael Rodriguez, 5'11". So Josh Woods, 6'1". So I look at more Julian Okoro, more of an edge rusher. That's kind of how I look at him. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of them. 15 solo tackles. So they had 5 sacks last season. 1 forced fumble, 1. So he more of an edge. He ain't more of a cover guy. You know, he ain't no cover dude. So when you look at him, man, he more of an edge. They loaded on that edge and that interior line and that D line. They loaded other than another run plugger. So he did have record one pick last year, one pass, but he's somebody's gonna put his hand in the dirt and go get you, like his brother. So I mean, when you start looking at it, that linebacker core is undersized, man, across the board. And like I told, I was telling y'all about the defensive line. It's gonna have to be stellar to keep them smaller linebackers clean. Don't know who Chris Board is, but we know Gerard Davis, trash. My Bubba Dub boys. James Houston is another guy. He's an edge guy. He's somebody on the edge. So, you know, edge. I don't know much about Pittman, but Pittman has got unbelievable size. He got above average size. He got really elite size for a linebacker. You know, 25 years old, 6'3", 242. That's that classic shit right there. Didn't do much last year, but size-wise, he got what you're looking for. Yep, size-wise, you know, he got what you're looking for in a linebacker. You know, ain't done much in his career, you know, but size-wise, you know, 7, 12 tackles, 5 assisted, 1 pass defense. They linebackers are putrid. And I think what they just show up, no tickets required, our linebackers are bad. All right, bad. So I mean, I think they might be worse than what we were on paper last year. To be real, I think they might be worse than what we were last year. So, I mean, it's bad, but I guess they really focused this. I think they really focused this offseason on linebacker on just the defensive line. You know, and linebackers, man, you know, you don't have to really take them high. You know, Fred Warner wasn't the highest. We still got Allen, so he got some pretty good size. So he probably gonna, you know, man that middle linebacker position in the even front. But who's gonna start off on the out is the question. You know. So I mean, a lot of people like Malcolm Rodriguez a lot. And Allen was terrible last year until they got rid of Jamie Collins. But a lot of people like Malcolm Rodriguez. So I don't know if Allen's only gonna go on the outside, and if Rodriguez playing, he gonna be on the inside. If he out here balling, he gonna be on the inside. Trust me. He gonna be an interior. So I mean, it ain't no upgrade from last year. Straight up and down. It's ugly. Don't know much about Joshua. It's ugly. But talk about the back end. Ain't really much to talk about. Jeff Okudah is gonna start. We know that. Monty Rari gonna start. They're gonna give Jeff Okudah the starting spot. I'm not gonna rant about it again. They're gonna give it to him. He gonna get smoked some shit out there again. And the best player is not getting that position, and that's messed up. But I heard him and Will Harris was rotating out that position. So, but you never know until the pass come on. To be honest, you never know. I didn't like how they moved Melifanu to safety. I didn't like that. Parker gonna be on nickel, so that's for the most part it's gonna be Rarier, Parker, and then I think Okudah gonna start opposite of Rarier, but I think Hughes gonna back up in the nickel. I got a funny feeling that Lucas is probably gonna switch to safety at some point. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. Bobby Price and the other dude that's injured. I always forget Jerry Jacobs. I think Bobby Price and Jacobs better than better than Jeff Okudah, but you're gonna have to wait and see. But for the most part, Jeff Okudah gonna be given the job. And we know what time it is. And you know what? For Jeff Okudah, I hope he pull it together. If he pull it together, beautiful. Right? But Jesus Christ, he has a hell of a week 1 matchup. I mean, once you look at it, he has a hell of a week 1 matchup. Last year, it was Debo and Brandon Ayuka didn't play well last year. But shit, we didn't know that. It was the first game of the season. But next year, he got a hell of the first week 1, he got a hell of a matchup. A.J. Brown out there, Devontae Smith. That's a bad matchup. And then don't forget, we got to see Miami right before Halloween. Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and a good thing about that matchup, I don't think Tua got enough arm to get him the ball down the field. But underneath, that's kind of a bad matchup for longer cornerbacks. Them shiftier receivers, they hard to jam. So when we probably see us play teams like Miami, you probably gonna see more Mike Hughes, more AJ Parker, more Jerry Jacobs, less Bobby Price, you might see less Aurier too. them longer corners, you're gonna see less of them. You're gonna see them short, shifty corners when people play the Miami Dolphins. You're gonna see a lot of nickels out there. You're gonna see Price, Jake. You're gonna see a lot of them smaller guys under 6 feet to really stick with them young. But he got a hell of a matchup week 1. And that's what we can say. Because, you're going to have, Jalen Hurts got something to prove. And he makes it difficult because, man, he unorthodox. He ain't the best thrower. They also added Zach Pascal as well, too. Who knew? He was underrated in Baltimore. And excuse me, no disrespect to the Colts, but they used to be Baltimore. But Indianapolis Colts still got Jalen Reagor. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun matchup though. It's gonna be a real fun matchup. So yeah, they bust our ass last year. I mean, they ran over us like we was some hoes, bro. Defense tried to hold on last year, but they all offensively couldn't do nothing. But that's gonna be a matchup for him, bro. There's so much pressure on Jeff Okudah right now, bro, and ain't nobody giving him no leniency over the injury. Nobody. That's a bad matchup for him. But who they play week 2? Excuse me. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. They play. Oh, the Commandos. They should have made the small soldier leader dude. So yeah, man. But week 1 gonna be a motherfucker for them. But back end wise, it's just what you think about the safeties. Who gonna win the safety spot? It's not a complex position either. Honestly, it's a position to do your job. That's exactly what it is. It's a position to do your damn job, bro. That's all it is. Do your job. Brady Breeze, Deshaun Elliott, he's probably going to be a starter. Don't know who Juju Hools is. Kirby Joseph, the rookie, he didn't play a lot in college, so he behind. And move F2 Emelefanu to safety. Excuse me, Tracy Walker. So I ain't like moving Emelefanu to safety, but you got a lot of good corners out there. So, I don't know, man. I like keeping him at cornerback. The way he was able to stick to Devontae Adams and hold his own with limited experience last year. But I like keeping him at corner, but we'll see. We'll see, man. But it's a lot of versatility on the back end. Walker's a box safety at this point. All the cover skills he stole in college is not translated in the NFL. But they do the start to translate. We'll be waiting. But that's all I pretty much got on that's what I pretty much got on the defense. Let's kind of like finish the second half of the show on the offense. And I mean, we can't call it a Lions show without me bashing Jared Goff, can we? I don't think we can call it that. But yeah, it's just duty, man. It's just duty this year. I mean, all right. I want to say the excuses was last year he didn't have no weapons and all this type of shit. Cool. That's fine and dandy. I'm not gonna argue with you. But We'll see this year. He said, "Laugh out the Commandos." I like that, the Commandos. Remember? I'm now forever calling them the Commandos, Dumpster Cat. Yeah, the Commandos. Wasn't that the name of the Small Soldiers? I believe so. This is free on YouTube too. The Small Soldiers. I was watching it like that earlier this year. Small Soldier faces on the helmet. Yo, old dude was hard, bro. Yeah, they got that whole movie on YouTube for free. Hell yeah, man. Heck, remember young Kristen Dunson? I think our school took us to see it on the movie theater. Yeah. Come on, man. Imagine this killer on the goddamn imagine that being their helmet. Just with this face on here. Man, that should be fired. Look, come on, the Commando. Come on now, bro. Washington corny, man. That'd be the truth, the Commando. That'd be the truth. But nonetheless, back to Jared Goff. That should be hard. I'm out here giving Washington free game. But yeah, it starts with him on offense. I mean, we know what the offensive line looking like. They played well last year. They said, well, he had no offensive line last year. I don't think it was about that. I mean, Matt Nelson came in and played well, converted tight end and tackle. I think what it was about last year was a lot of them dudes couldn't get open. I told y'all when they first got Jared Goff, my number one thing was that if you go back and listen to some of the earlier, I said the number one thing is they got to support him with weapons. I said that, and they didn't do that. Ross St. Brown, he was an inside receiver. Quintez Cephas, he was inside. So pretty much they hedged their best last year on Tyrell Williams and Trinity Benson. And Williams went down the first game, never seen him again. Right? Never seen him again. So it wasn't about the offensive line. They played well last year, regardless of everything that happened. Sewell switching hours or a couple days before the season. They played well, bro. They played very, very well, man. So, I mean, I just thought he was holding the ball a little bit too. I don't think they was creative enough with TJ Hutchinson. And their offensive game plan was too bland last year. The run, he ran the ball well, but they didn't do much off the run. We didn't see like a play action to the wheel for DeAndre Swift. You didn't see them really, abuse Hawkinson, in the slot or in the seams or kind of use him like Gronkowski and make him a matchup nightmare. So they didn't have the creativity to overcome not having the outside weapons. And then you lost Cephas. So it wasn't enough creativity in the offense. So it wasn't enough motion. It wasn't enough bunching. It wasn't enough isolating Hawkinson and getting one-on-one matchups. It wasn't enough moving them in motion. He wasn't using DeAndre Swift, down the field through wheels or, it wasn't enough of – they wasn't creative enough to make up the lack of weapons on the outside. And when Tyrell Williams went down, that was a wrap. That was it. Who else outside receiver you had? You had Cephas, but then he went down. So they simply didn't have enough creativity offensively last year to make up that. And I will put that in Goff's favor. They just didn't have enough imagination. So you like to see more from the string game. You like to see more, creativity with play callers early on in the season. You never notice the Lions get down. At the end of the season, they want to start getting creative and playing loose. Play loose from the beginning. You've been losing for fucking 30 fucking years before this. Play loose from the beginning. Get creative from the beginning. Play the first 4 games like y'all played the last 3 games. That's it. But in his defense, it wasn't enough creativity offensively. When Campbell took over, he managed Goff. They shortened the game, and they were more competitive. But they still have to be creative this year. They still have to be creative. Find ways to get Swift the ball, not in space. We seen it last year, down the field. If you got Swift on a linebacker, I like your bet going down the field. Find a way to bunch up Hawkinson, bring Hawkinson out the backfield. Get Hutchinson one-on-one on the linebacker. Flex him out. Bunch him up. Work the seams. Then once you start working the seams, then break out to the corner. Break out to the post. Then sit down. You get these tight ends, and they don't abuse what they can do. Get them running to the shallow cross. Put them on post corners. You know what I'm saying? Make them a matchup nightmare. Put them in the backfield. Put them on the wheel. Put them on some of them slants and angle routes. And I think Ben Johnson, what you hear early on in campus, Ben Johnson is actually being a lot more creative. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Excuse me. Excuse my French. Who is that guy? I like the Sade shirt, though. I don't know who the hell that is. Is that Austin Bryan? TJ Hutchinson. But yeah, they need to be more creative offensively. You know what I'm saying? They need to be all creative offensively, bro. And this dude should be him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, bro. They should own. It should be Thomas James, intermediate Hutchinson, and it should be Amon-Ra, intermediate St. Brown. That's what their name should be. They should kill the intermediate part of the field, short the intermediate. They should kill outside the hashes. They should kill inside the hashes. They should be stacked. They should be lining up in the backfield. They should be split out wide together. They should be bunched together. They should kill the inside of the inside the hashes and outside the hashes. They should kill the posts, the crosses, the deep crosses, the corners, the slants, the speed outs, the whips. They should kill it. They should kill it. They should kill that part of the field, bro. It shouldn't be no reason they don't end up with 100 catches apiece next year. Because they should be unguardable, bro. They should be unguardable. They should be unguardable, bro. They should be unguardable, bro. This man should have a breakout year, 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards minimum next year. And sitting down in zones, and they got another report with Ben Johnson, man. It should be his world, bro. It should be his world, bro. He should get as creative as he wants to with Brian. What's gonna make them work even more? What's gonna make them work even more is gonna be excuse me, I didn't even do that. What's gonna make them work even more is gonna be who gonna open it up, and who's gonna open this offense up for them. I don't know if they got no pictures, but who gonna open this offense up for them is gonna be the Josh Reynolds, and it's gonna be Josh Reynolds and it's gonna be Josh Reynolds and DJ Shark. That's who's gonna open this offense up, because Josh Reynolds, he's gonna start. I was listening to Woodward Sports talking about, I think Darren McCarthy was there talking about who's gonna be the starting receiver and can Cephas really get in there. But what it's gonna really boil down to, Josh Reynolds is gonna be there. He makes Dre White salute. Yeah, man. I heard the notifications ain't going out. Trying to subscribe, resubscribe, and hitting the bell icon again. But I think why that's gonna work for Hutchinson is you get to spread out Reynolds, and we ain't even talk about Jameson Williams or Cephas yet. You get to spread out Reynolds and Shark, and they get to stretch the field. And they 6'4" and 6'3". So you got them stretching the field. That's all you want them to do. Yeah, they might come back or curl out or run to the sticks and sit. But what you want them to do is nines, the goals, the posts, the skinny posts. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want to use them like Randy Moss and stretch the field. And occasionally, obviously, you're going to want to, people, they're going to sit down on them and you're going to want to put them on slants. But you want to use them like gazelles. Just go run and go and throw the ball and then have Jared Goff put them up there and go get it. That way, on the inside, you get guys like Cephas, Brown, TJ Hutchinson, they're able to occupy the middle of the field. While Reynolds and Shark is able to occupy the outside the hashes. So they should have a lot of space, not only to throw the ball, they should have a lot of space to run the ball. They had a point where you can put what was it, the tight end Brock, right? You had a point where you can put in Hutchinson, you can go heavy with them two guys, James Mitchell, you can go heavy with one receiver out there, or you can go 5 receivers out there and run the ball. You go 4 receivers and single back and run the ball. So they had a point where they got a nice balance. And honestly, it's gonna be, whatever. It's gonna be whatever. It's gonna be whatever Ben Johnson throw up. He got a lot to work with this year. So I accept the. He said Josh Reynolds not a deep threat for him. Oh yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is a deep threat. Because the reason why he a deep threat is because you didn't see none of that shit last year until he came. You didn't. You didn't see none of that, and a lot of that got to do with a lot of that had to do with his being comfortable with Jared Goff. For his career, these stats be just killing me. For his career, when he got here, he got 16 yards per reception, 16.1. He came in the league, he only had 1 target. I can't count that. 24 targets. He had 9.5, 13.9, 15.5, 11.9. He averaged 13.7 between 2 teams last year. He didn't play a lot. And we can compare that to I don't know why many out there barking, bro. She is crazy. Tyreek Hill has 9.7, 15.8, 17.0, 14.8. Last year he was 11.2. Obviously, the team start playing over the top, but the year before it's 14.7. The year before that, 14.8. So Josh Reynolds right there with him for deep balls, for yards versus reception. He ain't too far off. So yeah, he a deep ball threat at 6'3", 196 pounds. I think he about a 4'5". So yeah, he's a deep ball threat. He's going to start. He got to be there because he makes Jared Goff feel comfortable. He made Jared Goff feel comfortable. Jared Goff got more of a rapport with Josh Reynolds than anybody else. Even this year, when you've been playing together for years and years, so he gonna stretch that feel out regardless. He too big of a target. So him and Shark, and you gotta see what him and Shark feel like. But right now, Reynolds is ahead of everybody as far as rapport. And I had to say, other than Reynolds and outside the running backs, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Them the two he feel comfortable with. So when he gets Shark speed down, when he gets Shark timing down, when Shark he build that trust with Shark, is he gonna go get it? Is he gonna drop it? Where you want the ball at? Cephas right there too. They got enough balls together, but Reynolds and Brown leads the pack in rapport with Jared Goff. And they do. And but yeah, when you play with somebody so long, of course, you know where to put it at, you know where to go jump it at, you know where he going. That's just feel. He get that feel with Hutchinson. He get that feel. Like with Brown. He went stretch where he didn't throw Brown the ball last year, and after a while, he got hot. We got J-Mo Shark on. J-Mo, don't even worry about him. You may not even see him this year. You may not even see Jameson Williams this year. So there ain't no point of putting him in there. And then the question is, where does he play when he come in? Do they predominantly play him in the slot? Do they predominantly play him on outside? Is he going to be a multifunctional guy? And that's the question for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do you see Brown a lot on the outside this year? Maybe they put Josh Reynolds in the inside. He played a lot of slot in LA. He played a lot of slot in LA. Maybe you see Shark going to the inside a lot more. So Jameson Williams, you don't even got to worry about him. You won't see him for a while this year. And that's the smart move. Now, if it was last year when you didn't have shit, then I think they probably would have been a little bit naive and rushed him. You would have seen him play last year. But this year, they really don't. Come on. Now, if he running and he well, and they say, well, shit, he good to go. Hey, then, you probably see Quintez Cephas get moved. Hate to say it. Probably see Cephas head down in Dallas. But right now, they're going to take it cautious. They're going to cautious with him. They're going to be cautious with him. They're going to be cautious with Josh Pascal. And that's what I can say. But yeah, Jameson Williams, we don't got to worry about seeing him for a while. So next year you're gonna look at it. Now, when you talking about next year, BSTV, then that's a question. It's gonna be the Shark or Reynolds next year if they expect Jameson Williams to come back. And if it's no Jared Goff, then you probably gonna get rid of Josh Reynolds. But if Josh Reynolds, he's gonna have a big year this year. I'm telling you. Somebody's gonna have a huge year this year. Regardless of what the wins and losses look like, somebody's gonna have a big year out there. It's gonna be the one of the 4 running backs, Hutchinson, one of the receivers. It's gonna be one of them. Somebody gonna have a big year. Somebody gonna get the hell off this year. I think before Jameson comes, we gonna checking down a lot of the Reynolds and see. I don't see that happening. I think if you're checking down, it's gonna be Hutchinson. Need the mail lady out there. I think it's gonna be Hutchinson and my ride. You don't see no check down to Reynolds. Reynolds gonna stretch the field. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You must have missed last year. Reynolds gonna stretch the field. Shark gonna stretch the field. I'm telling you. And hopefully they get creative and Hutchinson stretch that field in the seams. But no, it ain't gonna be no check down to Reynolds. It's gonna be throw it deep to Reynolds. That's what he is known for. He's not known for checking down. Do you think Goff will play better this season with more chemistry and build with his receivers? Yeah. I don't even think it's the chemistry. I just think they're better this year. I expect them to play better this year. Still don't think he's the answer though. And so how much better? I mean, what is stats looking like? Hold on. But yeah, he could. I expect Reynolds to have a big year, bro. I expect Shark to have a good year too. But if I had to be a guessing man, if I had to be a betting man on saying who gonna break out this year for real, if I had to bet a pretty penny on this, I'm gonna go with the 3 guys that's on contract years potentially. You're gonna have to bet Hutchinson after next year. Shark or Reynolds. It's gonna be them 3 guys, I think. I think Ahmad Rod gonna do his thing regardless. But I think one of them dudes really gonna force the Lions to pay them some money. But he was 67.2% last year, 6.6 yards throw, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,245. So yeah, I expect him to be better this year. I think 27 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,000 yards. Right around 67%. Yeah, I expect him to be a lot better this year. He got better weapons, and I think Ben Johnson gonna bring more creativity to the team. So they're gonna be better this year for sure. They got better weapons. I think Cephas could be something special. I think so. I think so too, bro. Yeah, the plays he's making in camp. Yeah. Yep. You ain't lying about that. I like him. So you gotta find a way to get on the ball. But yeah, like I said before, these things are hash themselves out. Trust me. This has themselves out. Injuries, rapport, it hash itself out. Trust me. Bees TV say Goff is gonna push the ball downfield. What were you thinking theoretically will work? Won't happen. Goff, I think he don't have to. They don't have to. I think early on when you talking about playing Philadelphia, they're gonna force them to throw the ball vertically. So it don't even matter. Look at their schedule. Hold on. Look at their schedule. They're gonna have to push the ball down the field. And I heard that they're not really pushing the ball downfield early in t-shirts and shorts camp. They put the pads on the day. So what you're saying in theory is true. I definitely agree with what you're saying in theory. Because they said they ain't been pushing the ball down the field yet. But I think when you look at this schedule, Philadelphia gonna make them throw the ball down the field. Minnesota gonna be explosive this year. They're gonna have to throw the ball down the field, right? Miami, you're gonna have to throw the ball down the field. Dallas, you're gonna have to throw the ball down the field. Green Bay, you know what it is. You're gonna have to throw the ball down the field. Chicago, you're gonna throw the ball down the field. So yeah, they're playing a lot of teams that he gonna have to. And he got the proper weapons to do so. I ask questions, I answer questions right now. Get them out the way now, and I line them all up at the end. But you're gonna have to throw the ball down the field. It don't even matter. They don't have to. And if he don't push the ball down the field, then it's just gonna be an early exit, bro. That's just what it is. Then we start talking about, if Houston is bad and Davis Mills showing promise, do you trade for Davis Mills? You know, do you look at bringing in Lamar Jackson, or do you go into the draft next year? You like Bryce Young, you like C.J. Stroud, you like Jalen, the dude from LSU that transferred to Arizona. I mean, that's the questions you're gonna be asking. So, but in theory, he's right. And BCV's right. He probably won't, but he have to. Reynolds and Shark, you know, and Ahmad Rob, St. Brown. I mean, it's Reynolds, Shark, and Brown and Cephas. He gonna have to push it down the field. Maybe we talking about 10 yards, 15 yards. And that 6.6 gonna have to come up. It's gonna have to. Ain't no way around it. It's gonna have to jump up. It's gonna have to jump up. It's gonna have to jump up. Because what you're gonna get, this dude running. You're gonna get this, you're gonna get that dude blocking. You're gonna have time to throw. They're gonna run the ball, and what you gonna do off the run? Play action, go deep. So at some point, even if they get into another shootout, or when the Eagles start shooting and we ain't shooting back, they gonna have to go down the field. I don't know what they barking for, bro. Gotta be the middle lane. But they're gonna have to stretch the field. They're gonna have to stretch the field. They're gonna have to stretch that field. So it don't even matter. You know, it don't even matter. So they're gonna have to stretch that field, bro. So that's just my opinion on it. He got too many weapons not to throw that thing out there. He got too many weapons, bro. He gotta have. If he don't, and he's still scared to go down the field, I just don't see a way that he can't. He can get away with it. Even you run, pound it, like Carolina say. At some point, you still gonna have to make a throw down the field. And he got big targets, fast targets. You know, if Jameson Williams come back, fast target. So I just don't see it. Only so many bubble screens, so many halfback screens, only so many, you know, check. If they checking it down this year, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. People just gonna play tight, and the run game gonna be gone. No matter how good your run game is, when they start stacking the line and you don't throw the ball, you know, you're gonna be behind. You know, you gotta make throws, bro. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, but he's gonna have to throw it in theory. He gonna have to throw that thing out there. And if he don't, then like I said before, I think they already already in a position where they kind of know what they want to do at quarterback, bro. They already know. They know what the game plan is, and you know they got some options out there, man. I mean, Lamar, you know, everybody next year. We don't know. Somebody might come out of. You got some questions I got, I might answer them. You know, somebody might come out of back. Somebody might come out of nowhere next year. It happens with RG3. You know, so in the idea, they got an idea what they want to do next year, and if Goff don't execute, then you know, they know what they want to do, and I think I think next year, you know, defensively, you probably gonna start seeing linebackers start coming in there. I think you start to see the defense come full circle, and then they're gonna start hitting that quarterback position. That's what's gonna happen. And I think they're at a point where he built a nice depth on the team, but there's zero depth at the linebacker position. At the DBs, they got a lot of depth there. I don't think they're gonna end up paying Amani Oruwariye. It's just gonna be next man up. I mean, Okudah is gonna sink afloat this year. Then you're gonna hear about him switching to safety. Mark my words. If he sink, and you know what you're gonna see next year. They're gonna plug in a young quarterback, right? The offensive line gonna be set. They're gonna have a year under their belt if they're healthy. You're gonna have Ahmad Ross St. Brown in the slot. All right, you're gonna have Jameson Williams coming back next year, healthy. You're going to have Shark or Reynolds back next year. And, they're going to figure out the running back position next year. Either Swift going to break out or break down. And they're going to be ready to plug a quarterback in there. They created depth. They're going to have depth at the defensive line. They're going to depth in the offensive line. They got depth in the backfield. They got depth at receiver. All right. They got depth in the DBs. So really it's going to be about just, getting them linebackers, getting them quarterbacks together, and getting the linebackers a quarterback. That's it. So I think they got a plan. I think next year you start seeing it going full circle. Now, who the quarterback will be, we can't tell. What if Bryce Young go out there and suck? What if Bryce Young go get injured? What if CJ Stroud, he lose to Michigan again and fold or melt again? Who knows? Will somebody come out of nowhere and ball out? So it's gonna be interesting, real interesting. But that's all I got today, man. Appreciate y'all. Check out the Lions 101 Talk playlist. I'll put this up on Spotify in the morning so you guys can listen to it on Spotify Anchor, 100% free. Peace.